Okie dokie, boys and girls, it is day 51 of Calisthenics Endurance, and today, chest workout. And well, yesterday I did a 10-minute leg workout. That means today I deserve 2 hours of chest in the form of dips, of course. No, I'm kidding. Yesterday the workout was only 10 minutes, but it was 10 minutes of continuous squatting, so you can be sure that I'm sore as hell today. And well, that's gonna affect my chest workout, right? That's gonna affect my dips because my legs are feeling heavier. I don't know if they're actually heavier when lactic acid forms in the legs, but my legs are feeling heavy. I am tired as hell from yesterday, and so it's gonna affect today's chest workout. But is that a problem? In my opinion, it's not, because in my mind, I have my priorities, right? At the moment, I am captivated by strong, like elite strength level legs, like whether it's not just pure one rep max strength, which everyone thinks about when you think about strength, but strength has multiple meanings. I'm just talking about general leg strength, durability, endurance, the complete package, right? I'm captivated by, having those strong legs. I think it's cool, right? And so I want it. And I think it's especially cool if you can achieve it with calisthenics. And so that's my main priority, despite my leg workout yesterday only being 10 minutes. I'm just getting back into the swing of things. But because it's my priority, what I basically do is I make this the first thing I think about when I divide my energy between workouts. I first think how much energy do I need to spend on my leg day, and then I spend that energy. And then with the remaining energy, I can now work on other workouts like chest, like back, like shoulders, and everything else, right? Whatever day you have, you can now divide the remaining energy, right? But if your priority is to do or to have a stronger chest, to improve push-up strength, to learn the planche, whatever, well, it's gonna be different, right? You're gonna first wanna see, or you're gonna first wanna think about how much energy do you optimally need to spend on those days, and then you can look at the remaining days, right? So it's not about doing everything for a certain priority you have. It's not about putting all of my energy into leg day. No, it's about putting the right amount into leg day. Because if I went even harder yesterday, then I wouldn't be able to train legs again in 5 days, right? And so you just have to look what is optimal, how much energy. Don't spend too little, but also don't spend too much. And so that's going to mean you have some energy left. You can now spend it on the remaining workouts. That's kind of the way I think about it, right? First legs, that's my priority. Then think about whatever other workout I have. And the other workout I have today is dips. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head outside and start with some paused dips at the top. One rep every 3 seconds. Last time I tried this and it was way much harder than expected. So today I am going to try it again and see what happens. So first up, I'm gonna challenge a set of 30 reps, which is 90 seconds of time under tension. Alrighty, that's 30 reps. It wasn't very easy to be honest, but last time, although I wasn't fresh, I failed this set, so very happy that I was able to do it today. And in fact, I'm so happy that I was able to do it that I'm gonna try and do it again. So I set a timer. I'm gonna take about 3 minutes of rest, and then I'm doing another set. Now, doing these pauses at the top actually puts a lot of pressure on your triceps, but I'm not doing this to build my triceps. I'm doing this to train time under tension, right? Being able to be in the dip position for a longer time. Because my goal is endurance, but if your goal is to build triceps, I would say don't focus on the past reps. I would say, focus on keeping your elbows close to you, and then focus on the way up, moving your elbows forward, right, in that direction instead of this direction. So, yeah, if you want to build your triceps, do that. But I'm gonna keep practicing time under tension. Hopefully, I can do 2 more sets, but we'll see how that goes. Oh boy, a third set will be very difficult, but I'm gonna go for it, You won't know until you try. Oh boy. Don't underestimate how long you can endure a burning feeling because if I did, I wouldn't have been able to finish this set, but whew, that was a good challenge. First part done, 3 sets of 30. Now I'm gonna take a quick break, couple minutes, and move on to an emom ladder style workout, which emom is 1 set every minute on the minute. So I will put a timer that goes every minute, and every time the timer goes, I start my set. And the remaining time after my set is rest time until the next minute. But here's the catch. It's gonna be a ladder workout, so I'm gonna start with 10 dips, 1 dip every second, pause at the bottom, and every set I'm gonna do 1 more rep. So 10, 11, 12, 13, so on so forth, until I'm not able to complete the set anymore. But as the sets go on, they become longer, and so the rest time becomes shorter. I quite like this format, so I've been doing it a lot as of late. So yeah, let's get started. Hopefully I can get to 20 reps or something, but holy hell. Can you see it? My chest is pumped to hell already. So yeah, we'll see. Alright, 22 sets, or 22 reps, I guess, and then 10. That's 24 sets in total, I guess. Somewhere around 200 reps, I don't know. Okie dokie, time for the last set. Doing it inside with a tiny bit of weight. I have 5 kilos or 11 pounds on my waist, and the purpose of this last set is to just bang it out, Don't think too much about the form, just try to get as many reps as possible, which last time I did with just body weight and got 100 reps. Now, the form was abysmal. I didn't hit depth on any of those reps, but I'm okay with that, And today as well, I'm trying not to think too much about form and just, go as hard as possible. And despite saying that, afterwards I will check how the form was. And, at the moment I'm doing these slower pause reps in my main training to kind of, get the form ingrained into me, right? I want to learn the form, but I will stop that training once I see that even when I'm trashing myself completely without thinking about form, if at that point the form is still good, then I know that I can stop practicing form for a little bit and, go for volume again. And during that volume phase, probably the form will get worse again. And at that point, I will decide, hey, let's try, enough volume for now. Let's do some form training again. But yeah, that's kind of how I will cycle in between those two styles. But at the moment, let's just see what happens when I try not to think about it. 5 kilos. I've never done a max out with this weight, but secretly, I am hoping for 100 reps. However, every time like one of these trainings ends, trainings is coming to an end, right? At the moment, I'm in the end of the training. At the moment, it feels like I have like maybe 10 to 20 reps in me. So, it feels like that every time, and every time I manage to get more. So let's see what happens. Next time I'm taking revenge without these stupid glasses on. Okay, that's gonna be that's gonna be for today's training. Next time I'm taking those glasses off. Holy hell, that's annoying. But soon 100 reps with 5 kilos will not be out of the question, even in the end of a workout. So yeah, I'll check the form, this and that, but at the moment, very satisfied. And this training, nothing extreme, It was just every every time as of late. These trainings are just 30 to 40 minutes. Trying, the main part of the training is just getting in some volume at a good intensity, and then taking a bit of rest. And as a finisher, doing one set to the max. It's not complicated. It's not, difficult to follow. But I guess the difficulty is in executing it time and time again in a consistent manner, because everyone can do this, Just a simple training takes you half an hour. you can rest up for 4 days, and on the 5th day, in my case, you go again. But even if you have like 2 or 3 workouts a week and you do one body part, once every week, you're gonna get results. And so the main part is sticking to it. So make sure you enjoy your training, because guess what? At the moment, I'm tired as hell, but I'm gonna be sitting on the bike heading to work. I'm gonna have a shower. I'm gonna have my breakfast, and by the time it's noon, I'm gonna be thinking about the next one already. Excited to do it. Just damn it! I wanna get 100 reps with 5 kilos. Next time without the glasses, boys. Let's go.